I understand the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores.
It's amazing. The news reached him before he even arrived.
My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours.
Oh, thank you.
And you honor disappointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yes. You are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese people are a people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that it's true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means the study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam?
It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal.
What do you know? Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
This is it then. The moment of truth. The thing is, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if perhaps you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead.
Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. Without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done.
Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean.
Is there something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country. That was Mr. Osuki. At least that is what I've been led to understand.
Well, the thing is,
Mr. Naruhodo. If there was someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's me.
damn, I guess it's the wrong thing. It's me. I can do it.
Is that so?
I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but
No qualifications, you say, and yet you still claim to be a lawyer.
I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Cosmo to help me, and I was the accused, but glossing over the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain studying. I've learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on the board the SS Buria as a stowaway.
The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training.
I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Mr. Asuki's journey had only just begun. Coming here on the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he plans to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove that I have what it takes. Any test you care to set me. Just one chance, that's all I'm asking for. Please.
31 seconds.
Sorry.
Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. Perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer.
Oh, thanks.
So you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? One of them all for entertainment. Let me ask you one thing first, sir.
Yes?
You say you intend to do everything Mr. Asuki planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path?
Oh, yes, that's my intention.
I see. Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether you pass or fail is entirely down to you.
Really? So what form will the test take exactly? What a stupid question.
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be?
Well, defending people, of course.
Well said, so let's have you defend someone.
Huh?
The timing is perfect, in fact. There's an app trial about to begin later today.
What the fuck?
No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this should be welcome news.
Today?
Straight away? If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler?
How do I get myself in these situations?
Well, can I ask what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart?
Yes, good question. I remember. It's probably a murder trial, right? It's a murder trial.
A murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose.
That's easy to say.
But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will of course be sentenced to capital punishment.
The fuck does that mean? They change all the fucking letters in your name to capitals, or how does that work?
Capital punishment. He'll be put to death.
Why did you just say that, dude? He'll be executed. Why don't you just say that instead of all that fancy jargon?
Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exceptions. Presumably you've read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law.
We can't possibly agree to such a test. We'd be toying with the man's life.
I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable.
But you can't do that. Can you?
There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you can do is ensure that you don't lose.
So the defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged.
Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asuki? I'd like you to understand I'd like you to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen.
He's testing my resolve.
What's the matter? You've fallen silent. Sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be?
What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test?
It's just one man's life.
Not slain.
All right then. If I have to give you a decision now, I can't get it. I can't do it. I can't.
15 seconds. Your decision making needs.
Wait, what's wrong, boys?
Your decision making. Your decision making work needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So it's as I expected, is it?
Sorry.
You have no noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through.
Oh, you have them. What the fuck? Wait, what the hell? I thought...
The test is cancelled. Thanks for stopping by.
Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance.
Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm sorry, Miss Yusto, but what could I do?
It's alright, I understand.
You do?
It's not an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, but resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam?
I think what Miss Yusto means is that no matter how badly I like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at trial so trivially will be utterly unforgivable. I feel exactly the same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand on the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. Sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, was there something else?
It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from there. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time.
But I just said that.
I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case. There's certainly no one to advocate for him.
What?
At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. If that happens, there's only one possible outcome. He'll receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down.
But that's awful.
But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now the chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you.
I'm really his only hope.
Damn. What if it's fucking Sherlock Souls, bro? That'd be crazy. I hope it's not.
Sure.
But I hope the story goes somewhere, because it's really dragging.
What do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances, and I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve. Our time here is up. Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves.
Weirdo. He's gone.
The Old Bailey.
If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once.
Miss Yuzuto, can I just ask you something?
Old Bailey is it? Okay.
Oh, thank goodness, we're here in time. There's still 15 minutes until the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Sherlock Holmes stories, and it works quite perfectly. I'm not so sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. So this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm feeling tense, that's all. This place gives me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself is going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was one about to be crushed. The one. Yes, whoever the man you're to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at the moment. No. Top of the morning to you, madam, sir.
Oh, what the fuck is this?
What are you doing following me here? Things are fair desperate, aren't they? Sorry. Would you look at those expressionless faces from the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it right? Say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, nothing to eat, barely a penny to your name, and all while in a strange, faraway land. Well, actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say none now. 1,000 guineas? Please, Miss Susato, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is enough to build an entire mansion in the most prestigious area of Tokyo. What? Tis none to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough wealth to build the city of London 2 or 3 times over. Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it yet. I'm not giving it yet. No strings attached. I've been wanting you to do something for me. Oh. To be honest, it's a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for me, good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'd be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. None more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. The Lord Chief Justice just wasn't making it up at all.
I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial?
Bluster and blazes, do you not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? No, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see.
Oh, shit. A lying defendant.
I see. Suppose it isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the center of London is another beautiful park. Sorry, a park, what? It's called McGilded Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did.
An entire park in central London?
A city of smiles. That's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGilded wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. But now they've got the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGilded. What is the matter with the London police, I ask you? Alright, don't pass out.
Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves while the gentleman catches his breath.
Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students on a study tour from Japan, you see. So if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our... What was I just saying, you daft Egypt? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up there next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to stand up there next to you. To just stand up. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. This chance of our fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he did it. That's the only explanation. Well, well,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. What now? Like you said, if you have all that money, but you don't have anyone to represent you in court, there's no other logical conclusion than you're guilty of the charges.
Fuck. Well, you call a spade in the East, so you do. What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any offense. I still can't express myself very well in English, you see. And I'm never sure what's acceptable to say and what isn't, so...
I feel the same way, dude.
Is that so? Because you sounded fluent enough when you were telling me what a blackguard I must be.
What the freak?
Terribly sorry. That was terrible. I can't say that I blame you for thinking it, fella. It is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean.
That would be the fault of the Reaper.
Sorry.
I, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey. Lord Bark. Lord Beric von... What the fuck? Zeeks? Alright, Beric von Zeeks. He's the prosecutor. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper?
When Von Zieg stands for the prosecution, they call the accused in as sacrificial lambs. And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So it's reached a desperation situation, where there's no one willing to stand in defense against the fella at all. Because he's a living legend of the Old Bailey.
Goodness, Lord Beric von Zeeks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then.
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth?
The defendant is summoned and his counsel. Please make your way into the courtroom. The trial is about to begin.
His counsel? Oh, me. Oh, 'tis time. Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here, I made up me mind, so I had. Sorry. I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. But then you made an appearance, a student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. It's his fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him.
I don't know this dude.
Mr. Naruhodo, The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself.
Yes, something that Cosmo would never have allowed to happen.
Counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you're late for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand.
I'll be right there.
It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Cosmo. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this.
No save point? I really hope I don't have to do those 5 people's voices.
So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of history in this place is palpable, isn't it?
It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair.
Okay.
May I say something, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, yes, what?
Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again.
I know, but I just can't help it.
What the fuck? In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
For the prosecution.
Fuck, wait.
The prosecution is fully prepared.
Wait, no, I can't.
The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does fully look prepared.
Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English?
Bitch! Yes, of course. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing, bro?
But he asked if the defense was ready.
Those eyes please me, Nipponese.
They shroud your fear, your doubt, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
Now, Mr. McGilded,
Yes, my lord.
you stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner?
As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fellow's a student from some little island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those less fortunate a fair chance? I like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud.
It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded.
That's definitely welcome news, and he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him.
Yeah, what the hell, dude? This is weird as shit.
Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed?
Dude, I really have to read all these different fucking voices. Fuck? I might read these, but I might not. Mr. Naruto, those people are the jury.
The jury, yes. And something we don't have in Japan yet.
That's right, I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinions of these 6 jurors. The judge passed his sentence according to the law, but the jurors determined guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from 2 completely different points of view.
But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict?
That, I don't know, but... we'll see.
Yes.
Prosecutor Van Zeeks.
My lord.
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame.
I'm known as the Reaver of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity.
So what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstance of which the court should be aware?
Dude, I'm doing the wrong voice.
I'll leave that to your imagination, my lord.
So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years.
Why did he have to choose today of all days to make... This is kind of stupid. Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return.
That's the right voice.
Now then, opening statements, I think. Summary of the case, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known in the community as Thrice Fired Mason.
Sorry, Thrice.
He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible.
The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. A dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death.
Nah, it's not.
Here's the autopsy report from the investigating medical officers at Scotland Yard.
Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence.
Oh shit. Guess it is the dagger. But his face is partly impeded by an old crooked hat. Trying to say it's a whole fucking different person? Yeah, man, it is a whole fucking different person. I can't click it as far as I can see. Wait a second. That is a whole different. It's hard to tell. Look one more time. 54. Yeah, I guess that's him. The hat and the scarf. Let's look. I don't think that's him. Fuck.
And one further evidence of it, one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
And these are... Good lord, is that blood, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested.
What?
Maybe they weren't his gloves.
Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well.
Understood.
Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused Magnus McGilded.
Well, rather damning circumstances to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Well, of course I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGill did. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilton, so it is. When I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I'd never laid eyes on before in me life. Now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. So the blood got onto the gloves then, after the man had been killed. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that statement of the drivers is only the beginning. There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed.
Dude, is this dude Edgeworth or what, man? Or one of his ancestors or something?
When the killing took place, only the victim and the accused were inside the carriage. There were witnesses to the crime. This is not just a case of compelling evidence. It's a nail in the coffin for the accused.
Thank you, counsel. The circumstances of the crime have yet been made quite clear. I think we will hear testimony from these witnesses, first of all.
Your wish is my command. Bailiff, bring the witnesses in at once.
Oh, fuck.
Witnesses, your names and occupations.
My name is, well, everyone calls me Beppo. I drive an omnibus in the East End. Bruce Fairplay. I'm a banker in the city. My name's First. Lady First. I make hats for gents. Right.
Let's begin by confirming the facts. 3 days ago, at a short time after 10 o'clock in the evening, all of you present in the stand were in an omnibus and witness to the aforementioned incident. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Quite right.
Yes, sir, that's right, sir.
Very well then, let's proceed to your formal testimonies, please. Each of you will tell the court precisely what you saw.
It was the last bus of the evening, so I had a few customers. I remember it well.
The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did. Couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too.
Unambiguous testimony, I must say.
Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes.
I'd like to ask a question, if I may.
Yes, counsel?
Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Fucking idiot.
Why not?
Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it?
As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes.
Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage.
How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Islands was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus?
Well, no. We only arrived in London this morning.
No matter. I've arranged for us all to see for ourselves. The actual scene of the crime, that is.
What do you mean?
A carriage is designed to be moved after all. Presumably you understand that much. The omnibus in which the bloody crime took place is here today, in this very building.
The entire carriage?
Bailiff, bring forth the stricken omnibus.
So that's an omnibus. The omnibus.
As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses. It can carry up to 8 passengers. Four passengers seated inside in the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. And I should point out to our foreign guests that there is a skylight in the roof, allowing a view of the interior from the seats above. Okay, cool.
A skylight. Oh.
The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. That is how they gave witness to the grim incident. Through the skylight.
But hats are covering people's faces and stuff. Yeah, people have hats on and stuff. You can't even see people's. Anyways.
Well, counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself brought inside the courtroom.
There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus as evidence. That is the prosecution's wish.
Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence.
I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence.
Let us continue with the proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel.
Pray don't expect this Nibney Stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights.
Wow. Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, sir, that's right, sir, yes. Ever so cold, it was freezing, in fact.
And you had 4 passengers on board at the time, is that correct?
Yes, that's right, sir. Not all traveling in the same parts of the bus, of course, though, no.
And there were no other passengers when the incident took place. No one alighted, for example.
You're quite right with that, sir. No other passengers like that? No, none. I have to say the boss insists on it running, but he does. Every evening, the last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say.
What do you mean by that?
Well, with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home, just trying to warm up again.
Okay.
Next to each other. Inside the bus.
Next to each other.
And you saw them through the skylight and the roof of the carriage?
That's right. When you sit up on the top deck, the window's right there at your feet. There was a lamp on the inside, so I had a pretty good view. The 2 of them were wearing hats. I couldn't see exactly the 2 of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that it was Mr. McGilty.
How can you be
so sure?
Well, how can I put it politely? Mr. McGill is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else.
Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. There's no room for doubt here.
You actually saw the exact moment it happened?
Didn't I already testify to that?
Why, you fair dinkum hard-working city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? Who are fit?
I didn't mean that.
Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail.
My lord.
Juror number 3, what's the meaning of this?
My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up.
Made up about what?
Don't like the stinking rich, never have. They're always up to something, or other than that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway.
That's precisely what I was about to say. As a foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example to my fellow jurors.
It's a weird mechanic.
What the?
Let me see. Oh yes, it seems that that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts.
With fire?
Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty.
Wow.
As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ball of fire into the great scale of justice, as we saw a moment ago. So those enormous scales fall completely to the black side.
So those enormous scales fall completely to the black side. Does that mean...
Very well. The court acknowledges the change in the jury stance.
And it's visible from that screen. That's awesome. Or from this viewpoint.
Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination.
What exactly did you see?
Oh, sir, that would be the passenger, sir. Yes, collapsed on the floor he was.
By the passenger, you obviously are referring to the victim, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker.
No.
By the other passenger, obviously you're referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded.
My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption.
Juror number 2, go on.
Miss McGill is a pillar of society and a gentleman. A gentleman's word should be sacrosanct. However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Dispose of the rubbish. Don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. I feel you. I painstakingly typed every word uttered here and today in cross-reference for all the facts. As such, I am now in position to draw the only logical conclusion.
Not again.
That's 4 out of 6 who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark.
Okay, suppress everything.
Objection!
Damn. Fuck. That sucks, man. Oh shit. Damn, I gotta sit through all this shit again.
Hold it!
He stabbed him, you say? And you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you?
Yes, that's right, sir. I was up on the roof seat. I remember seeing the little gent sitting next to the fellow. I was stabbed. I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see, so I was just gazing absentmindedly around. But then I happened to look down through the skylight. It was sticking right up from his belly, that huge, great knife.
Is this a knife you saw?
Oh. Good grief. Yes, that's it. The very ones,
Is that?
Yes, Counsel, this is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart.
That is a blade of considerable size, Counsel.
It is. And furthermore,
The scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial.
the letter M, which seems oddly familiar. M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
But there are M's everywhere. Yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
This blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused.
Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel.
My lord, I wish to speak.
Yes, juror number 5, do I take it that you, too?
As the Master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. It wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But fuck that.
No, please, just keep an open mind. Yeah, whatever.
Messed up. But it was a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Beppo. Thank you, sir. You're too kind, sir. Well, they are wearing like the same kind of...
This is too unkind, sir.
Which means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Madam Juror number 6.
Yes, dear? What can I do for you?
You have the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand. You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses in the stand.
Oh, yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know.
Then pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning?
Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the pocket around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park is called. The gentleman donated to the city, you know. To put a smile on Londoners' face, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life.
How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of man Magnus McGilded really is?
What kind of a man he is? What kind of a man is he?
The philanthropist Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all the wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls.
Stone the Crows.
McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He is a vulture that preys on the weak.
I've never heard any mention of that before.
Your faculties have deserted you, I'm sure, madam. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service?
You're not saying that.
The victim, a poor brickmaker, and next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It would come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed was the final repayment date for his debts.
Okay.
Good gracious.
The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his house. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless, philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded.
If I might add something briefly,
Miss Susanoo,
you claim that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded. But where is the evidence to support your claim?
Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollow chalice in a court of law.
There it is. Lord Von Zeke's hollow chalice.
how can this be considered acceptable?
But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself.
As judicial assistant to the defense, I'm simply doing my job.
What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. You'll find the victim's name clearly recorded inside.
It's gonna be one of the witnesses' names in there too, or something. They're trying to get him to go away. Come on, man. Do I have to finish this?
Allow me to present this ledger as evidence,
Oh wait, that wouldn't even make sense for him to have.
and pray forgive the
What the fuck?
Marvelous toast, counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Oh yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum.
Yeah. Open it up. Huh? Bruce Fairplay. I fucking knew it! Should that mean something to me? I fucking knew it. No. That's not a coincidence. I fucking knew it! Alright, piss off.
when the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense.
Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes.
Regrettably, madam, this is the modus operandi of the accused.
And it's such a pretty little bug, too. What a scoundrel. Still. Maybe it's all for the best.
What?
Wait a minute, let's think about... I don't stand for nonsense.
Damn. I don't like this juror mechanic. Just adds another layer of tension.
According to the encyclopedia, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. Oh. There's a footnote, though.
A footnote?
However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision.
According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections.
Miss Suzuto, just tell me one thing. You're in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your encyclopedia.
Come on, get to it.
When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final... However, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point.
What the fuck?
A summation examination.
Objection! A summation examination? For which century has the tome? You have been there. From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic long forgotten. So you're out of luck.
What even is it, Miss Suzuto? This so-called summation examination.
You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails.
Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal to them to change their leaning or reverse their decisions.
Oh my gosh.
If successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use.
Because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right
to try this day and age.
I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world. To exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
But it's our right. It's our right. But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial.
The defense's position is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination.
This is madness. Madness.
Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Well, I'm not, there's no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... All members of the jury will be asked to remain, or will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Oh my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hope for all this justifying luck. It seems none of them have experienced this before.
So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you found the defendant Magus McGilden guilty of this most serious crime.